All right. Welcome back, everyone. This is a great time because I'm going to be talking about my account. I'm going to be talking about the progression that I've been doing since release and sort of talk about my experience so far and like the, trials I've had, the things I've had to overcome to get where I am now. But like, we're going to start out with just me sort of talking about the PvP because this is very much a PvPvE game and you want to make sure that you do the PvP. Right now in the PvP, I believe I'm not even that high ranked. Yeah, I'm still platinum in Summit. I'm still diamond in Etheria. I think I've been diamond since release. Not since release, but ever since I hit diamond, I've pretty much stayed pretty consistently at diamond 3. So this is a pretty good place to be. But what I'm talking about is obviously there are rewards for you doing these. You get currency that you can spend in the shops. Whenever you rank up, you get those same rewards. Whenever you hit certain ranks at the end of the seasons, you also get those same rewards. So definitely do PvP, even if you don't like it. It's so necessary to get not even ahead, but just to keep up with the other people that are playing right now. Because right now in the arena, you can get perfect lattices, you can get evolution lattices and summons. Obviously, I still don't have the perfect lattice. And I bought out the evolution lattice and the anima prototype summons. So that's sort of what I do. But then in Summon Arena 2, you also get the perfect lattice fragments, the anima crystal points. I haven't spent any on anything yet because I haven't done any of my battles this week. So yeah. And then there's also Fearless Arena, which I wish I could show, but it's only available on the weekends. So I may actually come back and sort of talk about that. But yeah, so the PvP, it's one of those things where it's really about outspeeding your opponent, right? At least in the early echelons of what you're going to be doing. So make sure you have fast units and stuff like that. So right now I want to talk about sort of the characters I have built. Right now I have RC77 built. He's one of my favorite characters. He has a one-turn stun. It's a single target stun. He has attack and defense break that he's able to reliably land. Any character that has an effect, if they're at least 45%, then that means you're going to hit the max potential that you can have to hit those effects. And he's able to do this like 3 times, which is nice. So pretty much every time you use this ability, you're going to hit if you have enough effect accuracy, which I don't believe I have the build on for him right now. But even with no build and no shell, he has 32 effect accuracy. So it's definitely just worth it. Then his second ability, which is one that I feel like people are overlooking a lot, which is he's able to extend buffs, and then also the third, I believe it's the final hit that extends the buffs, but the first 3 hits that he does, he is able to turn back turn meter. So it's super nice because you're able to push back pretty far on the enemies that are actually affected by it. And then there's also Hell Kid that I've been upgrading. He's more of like a test character for me right now. I'm sort of just testing his kid out, seeing what he can do. Obviously, I still have him on Twilight when I could be having him on a Void set or whatever the shell's name is. What's his name? I forget. Yeah, Law of Silence, so he can enter the Void state for a larger shield. So I'm definitely going to be looking at using him a little bit more. Then there's Lily, who is completely built right now. I have her built with effect accuracy just so her skill 3 lands because I've been using her in PvP, and it feels so good to have that skill land when you don't have CC characters, which I do have some, but I don't always use them. Then yeah, she's just my favorite speed character right now. She's able to put the buff on consistently, and then I've also maxed out her skill 1 and 2, so she's able to reliably land that assist attack, and then also land the crit damage buff and the speed buff. She does it frequently, which means that it's frequently up. Then there's Romolka, who I got pretty early on. I believe I got Romolka, Rosa, and Mio in the same pool, which is what got me my title right now. So I got Romolka. Obviously, I have all of her skills maxed to before the skill level ups. Then I have her skill 3 maxed out. Then there's Rosa, who has no investment, honestly, just up to her skill ups, which has been a really weird ride. People keep saying you need to invest in certain skills for her, and obviously I do want to do that at some point, but I just haven't needed to so far, and I think it's because I have Lily. And even if I didn't have Lily, I also at some point got Tsukiyomi. So I feel like I would have been good either way. But then there's also Chloros, who's my main red DPS. I used my selector to get him, honestly, because I did not want to rely on Leanne for bosses. I wanted like a better unit that was fire that could actually do bosses. And I'm one of those people where I think Dieting is good. Dieting's undeniably good, one of the best DPS in the game right now. But for me, I care more about having elemental advantages over the opponent. So obviously there's going to be a lot more elemental bosses and stuff like that. So you want characters that are able to take advantage of the advantages that you get. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Yeah. See, whenever you have an advantage over the opponent, you get 15% crit rate and 15 additional damage. And whenever you're at a disadvantage, then you get 30% crit rate reduction and 50% effect accuracy reduction, and an additional 15% final damage dealt reduction. So it doesn't feel good when you're going against an opponent that is at a disadvantage. When you're at a disadvantage, it doesn't feel good. So, sort of, who else did I want to talk about? I got Holden. He's kind of built. I don't have him built for speed because that's not what I use him for. I use him in teams mainly with Chloros. So I have him trigger his skill 3 as much as I can. Then there's Lilith, who honestly, this is probably the most slept on character because with 0 investment, she's carried me through a lot of content with minimal investment put into her. I literally don't have any of her skills skilled up. I don't have any of her skill 1 skilled up because I don't need it. And then I have her skills all the way up until their skill ups, and then I still haven't put any materials into her skill up. So Lilith is someone you should definitely invest in because she has a really powerful turn meter turn back, and I believe it's guaranteed. It's not even like let me see, yeah, 20%, 75%, and reducing the turn meter by 60%. So it's straight up guaranteed. She's carrying me through a lot of bosses, even ones that she was elementally weak to, because that guaranteed 60% turn meter pushback has just been carrying me so hard, and it's crazy. And I actually really appreciate having her. She was one of the first I got. I think she was actually the first SSR I got. Then it was Hellkit after that, and then it was yeah, the 3 pull when I got Romoka, Mia, and Rosa. So then there's obviously your healers. The only viable healers, in my opinion, right now is Linglo, Chiaki, and Sonya, who's somewhere down here. I don't really use Sonya because I don't like that she's like very one target focused. I may have went a bit crazy and upgraded Chiaki. So my Chiaki right now is all of her skills are maxed. So one of the most important things about her kit right now that I feel like people are kind of glossing over is that she gives damage reduction. Obviously, the damage taken is just flat. It's a flat, like, you do not do 35% of your damage, and that's so nice. And it's pushed me through a lot of content with Teramaton and a lot of other bosses. Then there's also her skill 2, which is it just stacks it on faster. Then her skill 1, which when maxed out is able to consistently heal 2 people, even just on her basic attack. So she's one of the best healers, honestly, in my opinion, even over Linglo. The only thing that Linglo has over Chiaki, and it's a pretty big advantage, which is why people have, I think, been glossing over Chiaki, is the fact that Linglo has cleanses on her heals. I don't know if it's all of her heals. Let me see. Yeah, it's a passive. So every time she heals, she has a chance to remove debuffs. So, and then she also has the buff extension, which I've been using too. Then I rolled Veronica is the latest SSR I've rolled. Every other SSR you see, I've rolled about like I want to say about 10-ish days ago, because I've been saving my summons since then. But I did a random 10 pull and I got Veronica. I'm gonna build her. Obviously, I already have her skill 2 up to level 3. I've used her in a bit of content. She's been super helpful, especially in Aurora. Then there's Holden and Mio and Hoyan, who I think is down here somewhere. Yeah, I haven't invested in Hoyan. I just wanted to pull for her just so I had her on my account. Then Tiamat, who I got from the 2-week free SSR that everyone gets. I was actually really shocked when I got to Messiah. I swear I don't mean to call him Tiamat. He looks more like a Tiamat than Tiamat to me for some reason. I guess that's why I keep calling him that. But then there's Born, or Begorgni as I like to call him. Begorgni has been helping me a little bit in Aurora. I used him earlier on, but I don't really use him now. Because I'd probably have to star him up, and I'm not really interested in that because then I have to invest in Sonya, and I don't really care to do that. So that's sort of been the track of the characters I've gotten, what I've been using them for, obviously. Then there's sort of the progression that I've been making in the actual game and the challenges. So in this game, you really want to focus on farming shells first, because your shells and stuff like that are going to be your base stats. They're going to carry you through a lot of the content. Right now I'm in Nightmare of Ringokutsu, but also I don't know how to say that, so I apologize if I butchered that. But this has been sort of a real experience. It wasn't until I started getting into Hell of Threshold that I was able to clear anything after Sharon. Anything after Sharon, I had to go back to Hell to attempt to clear it. I'm able to comfortably do Terramaton at Hell 3. I was able to manual it in Hell 4. Doki, I was able to auto in Hell 3, and I manualed it. Then there's Aurora, who I was able to manual to Hell 2, but I can only auto her to L1. So that's sort of been my progression in that side of things. So for right now, my main goals right now, as I've kind of hit maintenance mode a little bit, I still have a lot of the PvE that I'm able to do. I can go back into Ember Trek and sort of clear that a bit more. This resets in 6 days, so I'm hoping that I can pull Yelly whenever she releases. I'm going to be doing a video where I try to pull for her. Then Ethernet Rally, I've only recently been doing. I think it was 2 days ago that I started playing it. It's actually a decent bit of fun. It's just that I have to load out swap for all of my teams, so that it's been a bit obnoxious doing that, and that's why I don't do it. Then Instinct Echoes, I can clear pretty much anything. I got a pretty fast set that I can just throw onto Lily at any time and clear him. I just really don't have the energy to do that. Then there's Phantom Theater, which I honestly never feel like doing because it's just so boring. Then obviously I have the events completed, so my main sort of stopgaps whenever it came to the PvE, it could just be solved by going to the other side of it, right? This is going to be your main, your bread and butter is going to be in these 2 dungeons, right? You're going to be going to Grim Pursuit to get the base stats. Then once you can't clear Grim Pursuit, you go back to Threshold and start building more characters. Then you go to GP and sort of scale them up. Then you go to Investigation to level them up. Then you go back in and then go back to Grim Pursuit. Then you go back to Threshold, and it's sort of just a cycle, right? And it's been a cycle that I've been enjoying. I'm not super upset about it. And from what I've heard, there's going to be a new I'm not sure if it's a new event or a permanent game mode. I'm kind of hoping it's a permanent game mode, because we do need more of that. And honestly, for a game that mainly advertises PvP, this game is pretty PvE heavy. A lot of your rewards come from PvE, and I've super been enjoying that. So that's sort of that deal. I also want to talk about running a union. So I initially, when I first started playing, was not going to have a union that I was going to run, because that's a lot of responsibility that I just never had to deal with. I've never had a union or a guild, to be honest, in literally any game, unless it was one where I could join the guild and do fucking nothing, or just do my own thing. Just because I've never been like a super huge like community type person, I just kind of joined the guild for the rewards, and that was the case here. But it was day 2, and I was not willing to go without rewards from the guild. So I just started my own guild. It's Ouroboros right now. We're level 20 maxed out. We did win our first United Front battle. We're in a layout phase now. I'm not gonna go into that and show whoever I'm battling, just because I don't think that's kosher. So we're not gonna do that. So yeah, that's sort of been my thing. Running the union is not super hard. It's literally just adding people who you want in the guild and sort of letting them know what you do, right? It's best to set up a Discord. I do have a Discord set up for my guild. Obviously, I'm not going to say it here, because it's only for the people that are in the union. That's what that Discord is for. to talk about United Front, which I think is going to be the focus of my union as I go on. So I'm also going to talk about the shell costs and the module costs. So if you don't know in this game, upgrading shells and stuff like that, it costs a lot of materials. I don't know what I'm upgrading right now. I should, well, yeah, I do. I'm gonna upgrade a Law of Silence. I'm looking for a Onslaught, and I believe, what pieces can you have? Let me actually check real quick, because I was looking at that for him, for Hellkid, because he, with one of those pieces, could actually be crazy. So, archive. Yeah, let me see what Law of Silence does. Law of Silence. Oh yeah, I was gonna get him an Onslaught and Time Weave, so he's able to consistently have that shield up, and then also, you know, have the Etheria attack to have the shield be big as well. So he's gonna be my main, like, sort of tank, like my main resistance dude. As long as the boss doesn't have like buff strip, obviously that'll ruin my whole strategy. But that's the game, right? So that's sort of who I'm planning on upgrading. And to sort of look at that, the cost to upgrade these shells is actually a decent amount. Reconfiguring red shells is 30k, and reconfiguring the gold ones, I believe, is 25k or 20k or something like that. So it's a lot of material, and you also don't get a ton of material whenever you farm shell dungeons. But something I've seen people complaining about is the amount that you get from the shell dungeons. In my honest opinion, farming a dungeon 10 times is able to upgrade a shell up to 10 to 15-ish levels, from 1 to 15. And then, like, after that, like, one dungeon clear gets you like 5 levels, if even that, later on. Which isn't that terrible to me, because once you get a character with the matrix sets that you want, it doesn't really matter what you invest in past that, right? Because as long as you have the shell with the set, you're always going to have that set. And even if you wanted to re-roll the modules pieces, re-roll the effects, you could do that and then just change who you put it on, right? That's in my honest opinion why I like the shell so much, and I feel like that's not a terrible thing. So I've got obviously a lot of red shells, a lot of gold shells, But this is literally just from the last like day or two after the 2x event ended, because nobody was doing shell dungeons during that time. We were mainly just farming skill ups and things of that nature. So that's sort of my deal. I think the shell dungeon is fair. My main issue is with the rates of the dungeon themselves, because in the dungeons for this game, you will end up having these moments where you do a 10 run of auto on these challenges for Grim Pursuit, and they have a chance of giving you a golden shell. And I feel like the chances of you getting a golden shell and getting a red shell are split 50-50, instead of based on the amount of shells that there are that can drop. So basically what I'm saying is, even though there's 4 shells and 4 red shells and two gold shells here, I think that the chance is split 50-50 between the game determining whether or not it's a red or gold shell, and then after that it chooses which one of those two it is, right? So in my honest opinion, that's sort of an issue for me, because I feel like in Hell and Inferno, the chances should be higher at least, or at the very least it shouldn't be 50-50 at all, in my opinion. It should be like the amount based on the amount of shells, not based on the 50-50 and then whatever is after that. And that's been my main issue, because I genuinely do think it's 50-50, because there's been 10 runs where I've gotten nothing but golden shells on Hell. So I think that what they should do is upgrade the chances of getting a red shell to like 75-25, 75 being the red in Hell, and then I'm thinking like 85-15 in Inferno, 85 chance being the red, right? Like that I feel like that would help people farm for the gear more. You'd be able to get the pieces you want faster, get the sets you want faster, and that would help a lot. Then there's also the threshold, which if you do Hell 3, like I'm only able to auto Hell 3 of Terror right now. I can just barely auto it in Hell 4, but it's not worth it in my opinion. But I'm able to auto Hell 3, and it still has a chance of giving you the outstanding pieces instead of the mythic pieces, which is definitely not helpful. At this point, you don't want to see purple pieces, and honestly, farming in Hell 3 hasn't been giving me a ton of purple pieces, but what it's been giving me that's been like making me a little bit upset right now is giving me like two matrix pieces. And like I kind of understand that, which is fine. Like it'll give me like a 2-piece of onslaught instead of a 3-piece, like the one that's here. But from what I've been told, you still get 2 pieces from Hell 4 and Inferno. I feel like they should just do away with that. That shouldn't be a thing. Like you should only be getting first off, you should only be getting 3-piece sets, and I feel like all of the stats should be maxed from Inferno. I feel like that would just make more sense, right? So apparently it's like that for all dungeons. Obviously, I've only been able to get to Hell 3, but I can auto Hell 3 on Doku here, and I've been able to get to Hell 2 manually, and I can auto Hell 1 on Aurora right now. So that's sort of just been something that's been bugging me a little bit. Then also the reason that I've mainly been playing this game, and honestly why I've sort of been sticking with this game for a little bit. Obviously, it's only been out for about 2 weeks, so obviously no massive commitment. But I definitely would recommend this game if you're like the type who likes sort of diving into the game, playing the game a lot. And this is something I really don't do often. I don't recommend games to people often, and this is sort of me starting to do that from my experiences. But this is one of those games where you really have to choose your fun, right? Are you going to have fun in PvP? Okay, you're going to need to farm in module instead of shells. You're gonna have to get those speed tests to outspeed your enemy. You're gonna have to get those speed substats, and then that's gonna be your fun, right? You're the PvP guy. You like doing PvP. You like outspeeding your team. You like coming up with counter strategies to people that outspeed you. Obviously, you find your fun the way that you find it. And then I've also been into the PvE. That's been my side of things. And then I've been doing the PvE. I've been doing a lot of the Ethernet rally and things like that. The Ember Trek, and I've been enjoying it, all of it, except for maybe these two. But that's neither here nor there. But I think they really have something on their hands with Ethernet rally. I think if they're just gonna reset it and it'd be the same every time, it might be a little bit dry or stale. But I think they might change it, and I really hope they do, because if they change it, it'll be top 10 game modes in any game for me, honestly. At least as far as gacha games go. I'm not gonna say that I'll leave that in the air, but yeah. So I kind of just wanted to give some tips for people who are free to play and like light spenders also, but like light spenders who only are buying the pass and the monthly pack, right? The monthly pass that gives you gems every day. This game is definitely not the type of game you want to rush. You're going to want to take your time, because as someone who has really thrown their forehead against the game, I have learned a lot by doing that. I'm very much a trial and error sort of person. I like to sort of find out what I'm doing wrong and then sort of figure that out, right? And then now I'm sort of talking about that from my mistakes. So one of the things that I've noticed people haven't been doing, and I'm not sure why not, is I've bought out the weekly shop, and I've done that both weeks, and so far it's netted me a lot more summons, even though it's only been 2 weeks, right? 20 extra summons is a lot. And right now I'm stocking up for the next banners to see what they are. If the next banner are characters that are already in the pool right now, I may not. There might be a chance I just won't summon until the banner is actually a new character, right? I might do like 50 on the permanent, just to see if I get the new limited character, which is Yellen. But as you can see, something that's a bit surprising as someone who's free to play right now is I also have 33 LD summons. Now these didn't come out of nowhere, right? I got these from doing events, from doing a lot of content, but I also got them from buying them in the shop of the weekly packs. It seems expensive, and honestly it is. But even me spending this on the weekly pack, and even me using my gems to summon every once in a while, I still have 2,000 gems right now, and I'm kind of done with my refresh days. Doing the dailies and stuff like that will net you about I think about 5 stabilizers, and only if you're in a guild. If you're not in a guild, it'll net you about 3 per day, which you can use. So I've sort of been using 2 and then saving them. So I used up 2 yesterday, used up 2 today, and I'm not gonna use them for now. I'm not sure what I'm saving them for, but I'm just a bit greedy like that. Then yeah, something that people have probably drilled into you on the release of this game, but you may have forgotten. Go to your hyperlink chatter and see charter and see what you need to do. See what needs to be done, because the rewards you get from this are just so helpful to your account. It gives you summons, it gives you gems, it gives you shadow prints, it gives you the stuff that you need to progress characters and to get through the content, right? You heard it whenever people were talking about it at release, but I feel like people have slowly forgotten about it. No, obviously I need to take my own advice, because whenever it comes to these clear X 10 times, I'm really lazy about that, so I haven't been doing that until recently. And obviously it's telling me to do Aurora at Hell 1, but I can do it at Hell 2. That's kind of neither here nor there. Then obviously these shell summons, I have yet to do Ringo Kutsu up on a Hell yet. So yeah, you kind of just want to look at what you're missing, what you want to do, what you need, right? And it's definitely a bit difficult to sort of see what you need, right? I was mainly going for a debuff style play with the characters that I was building, right? I was building Rosa because she has that speed slow, and then she's also able to do the follow-up attacks. I was building Lilith because of the turn meter pushback and the slow that she has on her kit. I was building Dinah because of her debuff on her skill 3. I was building Kraken for the CC. I was building who else was I building? I was building Viper for the strip and for the slow and attack down. I was building Gray for the defense break. So I was building a lot of characters, and I was doing it because I wanted to have characters that could really clear anything. But this isn't the type of game where you're just like, hey, I want to have a bunch of characters that do a lot of things, right? You have to invest in these characters, and investing them is not easy, because you need to skill them up, which is very expensive. So that's my main advice right now, is just look at what the content you want to clear, and then just go with the units. I obviously said this earlier, but really it's really important to do that. My next character that I'm probably gonna skill up is not gonna be Messiah. Sorry, who else? I feel like there was someone. Yeah, I'm gonna get Clorox's skill 5 maxed out, so he operates better in Ethernet Rally, because if you haven't used them in Ethernet Rally, it's a bit of a tough time, I will be honest. But I use them in there because of the bosses. Then obviously Rosa, I gotta invest in her skill 2 first. Make sure she's landing those follow-up attacks whenever she can. And my Lily, the skills that I want are maxed out. If you're really a PvP pig and you wanna really dig deep, then fucking go for the skill 3, whatever. Who cares, right? But really and truly, do not sleep on Chiaki. I feel like people are gonna keep sleeping on Chiaki because until they start realizing they need a red healer, and that not every healer needs to have like debuff cleanse. Like, they're gonna introduce characters that do that naturally anyways. So I'd rather have a healer that's able to keep me at high health, right? So that's sort of been my deal with my account. Now, I'm super excited to share that with you guys. Super excited to share where my account has gone, where it's grown to, and where it will grow hopefully in the future. So that's sort of just it for the game, and I really hope you guys have a good time playing this game, just the same way that I am. If you don't like the game, that's on you. Obviously, you're entitled to your opinions, and that's fine. And that's completely valid if you don't like the game either. I'm not saying that people that don't like the game are sort of just invalid, right? You don't like the game, that's fine. But for me, I'm gonna have to recommend this game because it's actually just fun. It's fun for me, and it's fun for the people playing right now. And obviously, they're gonna need to add content in the future, but it looks like they're already doing that with this next update. So I'm gonna look forward to that. I'm gonna stream me doing my summons after the banner releases. I'm kind of just gonna see who releases on the banner as the normal element units. But yeah, that's sort of it. I'm super excited, and I really hope you guys have a good day. See ya.